Okay, and then your concept of save, share, spend. Will you go through that?
Yeah. So, this is something a lot of people have heard of. Not everybody, but a lot of people have heard of this concept of when you have money, however you make it, and this is as an adult also, but as a child, you put a little bit in a save jar, you put a little bit in a spend jar, and you put a little bit in a share jar. And, just logistically, I recommend these being clear jars so your kids can actually see their money growing. It's the old fashioned piggy bank. There's just 3 of them. But important thing to kind of back up to is how they get their money for these jars. So, if you're giving your child an allowance, if your child is doing chores and specifically, they go rake the yard and they get some money, or if it's birthday money, whatever money that they get, I recommend putting a little bit in each jar. And a question I get a lot is, well, how much should you put in each jar? And you can, I read articles and I'm always, up to date on what people are saying about this. And I'll hear the 80-10-10 rule, 80% in spend, 10% in save, 10% in share. And then, I hear, well, it should be, split evenly so kids understand that each one is as important as the other. My philosophy is it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much your child puts in either one. And I actually don't think that you should be the one to direct how much your child puts in each one, because one of the most important things about getting your child interested in finance and taking ownership of it is for it to stay positive for them. So if they go outside and they rake leaves and they get $10 and you say, okay, well, you have to put $5 in save and $4 in share and $1 in spend. Well, it takes away ownership. It takes away control from them, and it makes it not quite as positive. So something that I've realized with my own kids and from talking to other people as they've started implementing this system is that kids naturally want to please. I mean, at the younger ages, I'm not at the teenage years yet, so I don't think that counts. But at the younger ages, kids naturally want to kind of do the right thing and figure out what they're supposed to be doing. And they'll surprise you. If you say, I'd like you to put a little bit in each of these jars, but you choose what you want to do. They usually kind of just put maybe a third in each one, or they'll just put, some days maybe they'll put more in the spend than the save or the share. And then the next time they get money, or the next, week when they get their allowance, you can just say to them, well, you put a lot in your spend jar last time, so why don't you try to put a little bit more in your save or share? The beauty of this is they don't completely understand save, spend, share yet. They really don't understand the concepts, and it's okay. This is just introducing them and building some habits. So, you want to remind them, this is all your money. We're just putting it in these different pots. You're saving for something that you want to buy later in the save jars. The spend jar is the money that you're going to bring to Target when you're shopping with your mom. And every time you say, I want that bouncy ball, your mom says, okay, great, use your spend money. And the share money is something that you can give to something you care, is money you can give to something you care about to help them. So, if you've got an animal lover, you can go and donate that to the local animal hospital, or maybe go to CVS and buy, dog toys and donate them. But it's all their money. They get to decide what to do with it. And it's a really great way to just build habits. That's all we care about right now, is keeping it positive so that they want to build habits, and building these habits so every time they get money, they know it's not all for spending. They know that they're going to give a little away and they're going to save some.
That's so good. And it's interesting that you said, don't allocate, because sometimes they say, you hear the 4-3-2-1 rule, or the 3-2-1 rule, where it's you give this much, you save this much, and it really limits the generosity that we could build in our children at a really young age. So I always tell people I'm married to
That's such a good point.
Yeah.
That's such a good point. I mean, yeah, our kids are so generous and so compassionate. And if we can kind of help encourage that and help them find it on their own, it's even more meaningful.
Yeah, I completely agree.